Hello everybody, and I am in the studio with the lovely Emma. Emma, welcome to North Herts Radio.
Thank you very much, I'm happy to be here.
Emma is here to talk about the sexual health clinics. Formerly, we've been discussing family planning clinics for us old folk. So Emma, what is it about the sexual health clinics that you're in here to talk about?
Well, over the last year, they've closed down 5 of the 8 sexual health clinics across Hertfordshire. It's all to do with this 5-year sexual health strategy that Hertfordshire County Council put in place. But the places that they have left them are Stevenage, Hatfield and Watford. And it makes it incredibly difficult for people, mainly in East Hertfordshire, to get to the sexual health, exactly, to access them.
Yeah, because if you don't drive and you live in one of the villages or one of the smaller towns, it's a bit of a trek to try and get anywhere.
It really is, and I think it's so important, especially for younger people who can't drive, or maybe who live at home who don't feel comfortable talking to their parents about it. It used to be a safe space that was available across the county, but now that's just been taken away, really.
So is it the council or the NHS?
There's been some funding that there was a grant that was for sexual health and that was taken away.
Right.
So Hertfordshire County Council created this strategy off the back of that to try to reduce costs.
Of course, yeah. I suppose if they haven't got the money.
Exactly. So it's, I'd say both are to blame in a sense.
Okay, so how did you discover this was happening?
I used to live in Hertford and there used to be a sexual health clinic there. I'd previously been once before and I tried to go there again and it was closed. So I went to the one in Stevenage, which was the other closest one, and I got there for about 9 o'clock when the walk-in clinic opened and it was absolutely full. There was about 50 people in the waiting area. Wow. And they were turning everyone away. So then a couple of weeks later, I managed to drive to the Bishop Stortford one, and that ended up being the last day that they were running. I had no idea until that point that so many were closing down.
That it wouldn't be there when you needed it.
Exactly, yeah. So I was actually one of the last people to go to the Bishop Stortford clinic, and they were all so lovely, and even the nurses were saying, we don't want this to be shut down.
No, they know it's a valuable resource.
Exactly.
They're now called sexual health clinics. Prior, they used to be called family planning clinics, and they would have the drop-in clinics where you could go and get your tests or get your emergency contraception or advice or help, and especially for young people. And they had specific ones that were for teenagers where they could have counsellors there to help, because obviously 14, 15-year-olds who have done something, perhaps they don't want mum and dad to know, but they still need support. These are very important clinics for people to go to because you can't always get appointments with your GP. So what is it that you've decided to do?
So I started a petition to gain funding to reopen sexual health clinics. Funding is an issue and they can't afford to open all 5 that they've closed. It's impractical for there to only be 3 in the whole of Hertfordshire, the county,
because Hertfordshire's a big county.
It really is, and the way that they've distributed the clinics is pretty much down the centre. So it's Stevenage and Hatfield on the A1, and then in Watford as well. So they've really not catered for everybody's needs.
Well, anyone north of Stevenage, all of those northern ones have to come down to Stevenage, and that's not always practical.
No, it really isn't, and especially if you can't drive.
So I think it's really important what you're doing. So how can people sign your petition?
So you can find it either on my Instagram. I'll be sharing with North Herts Radio all the links to it. But if you wanted to find it on the internet, there's a website called democracy.hertfordshire.gov.uk, and that's where all of the e-petitions for Hertfordshire County Council are. And if you scroll down and select e-petitions, you can see all the current petitions that are going on. Or if you wanted to Google Hertfordshire e-petitions, all one word, it should come up.
And what's the name of your petition?
It's Protect Our Sexual Health, Stop Closing Clinics.
Brilliant. And Emma, is there any social media if people wanted to reach out to you?
My Instagram is at Emma Adelaide, and I used to be private, but I've unprivated myself, so that I can, get
so people
stories
can
from exactly. So I can get stories from everybody, and I can hear what everyone's experiences have been. I reached 100 signatures on my petition. Hertfordshire County Council are going to be arranging for me to meet with one of the executive members of the cabinet who make the decisions, which is really great. And I'd really like to take with me some stories of how people find the sexual health clinics valuable.
Brilliant. So if any of you out there have a story you want to share about the sexual health clinics, whether it's not being able to access one or saying about one that's now closed that has really helped you in the past, get in contact with Emma, because the more she has, the better chance we have of the council deciding to try and push to find funding, because they won't do it off their own backs. They'll only do it if the people actually say.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for coming in, Emma.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.